Cool. Welcome to our Developing World class final. We have our audience here. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Brian Brooksby.
And I'm Debbie Brooksby.
Cool. And these are my parents. And today we're going to be discussing about my adopted country, which is Kiribati. We're going to be talking about a few things about globalization, how we can better help this country, and about some questions that my parents had about my website. So, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. So what we want to start out with first is this dollar right here. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. So what this dollar is called the developing dollar, and our teacher gave this to us. And what is it? It's a dollar that we need to use, or we can't use it except to help our developing country, or help our help the developing world in some way. And so, what I wanted to ask you guys first is, what do you guys think you would do with a dollar that could go towards something that could help the country and also benefit you as well? So something that could be useful to you and your country.
For the country that we're talking about?
Yeah, for
Kiribati?
Kiribati, from what you found from the website at least.
So if I was going to spend a dollar there, what?
So here, for instance, I'll give you mine. What I want to do is, or some ideas that I have for using my developing dollar are to maybe start a foundation to help the people to migrate off the island and start a new life. So, and that would benefit my country because it would help the people to leave the island as it's sinking, as we will talk about a little bit later. But also it would help me because I want to go into business and go into entrepreneurial business and things like that. And so it would help me to understand the aspects of business and how I can organize that and follow through with that. And so that would help both me and my country.
Got it.
So,
So if we had a dollar, what would we do?
yeah. What do you think?
When I was looking through the information, I thought obviously the land issue is a huge issue, and the fact that they have no natural resources is a huge issue. So I would probably spend my dollar perhaps creating a partnership with another nation, or maybe another island community close by that has either more land or natural resources, and perhaps set up an agreement where we could use labor from the island and trade that, or have an agreement with a different nation or a different island to actually use some of their land or resources in the short term in order to produce, more food, more crops, and set up a situation that would be mutually beneficial for, both the folks of the island as well as producing food to bring back to the island.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. It would definitely help not only the Kiribati people, but the people of the island that they were partnered with.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I can definitely see
So
that.
it would stimulate both economies, I think, because it would provide probably a good labor pool for the island that you partnered with, or the nation that you partnered with, and then it would certainly, allow for more imports of maybe cheaper food products that could be distributed through the island.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. What about you, Mom? Any thoughts? You can just agree. I mean, that's fine too.
Spend your dollar to resort.
No, I was actually looking at, with one of the questions, can they create some sort of tourist industry? And maybe they could do something along those lines to create, to help more of a tourist industry to help create more money, to help benefit the island, and then plus it benefits the other islands around them along with those, along with that. So that's what I was thinking.
And it
Of.
benefit you because you could just go there and hang out there for a little while.
I could do that.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, and like also with like the freshwater issue, I think there's a lot of openings there that you can look at. We could look into. Maybe they have like those Brita water filter things. Maybe invest in something like that to help send the island, or invest in water, bottled water company or something like that to help send fresh water, because that's one of the biggest issues. As I was just reviewing a couple of things today, I found. I mean, I knew that, but I found more issues about that than anything as I was looking at the stuff today about the water issues and things like that. And I really liked all you guys' questions. I mean, all those things kind of relate to the developing dollar and how we can better the people of Kiribati through that. And so maybe we'll just kind of look at a couple of questions to start off with. So there was a couple that you guys asked that were kind of similar. Like, Dad, your second question about the tourist attraction, and Mom, you obviously asked about the tourist attraction as well. What made you guys kind of think that would be a good, beneficial idea or something, do you think?
Well, I mean, the part of the world that they're in certainly is conducive to some sort of tourist industry. In the larger cluster of islands that is there, South Pacific type of islands, you would think the climate would be conducive to having some sort of tourist industry there, but it doesn't sound to me like, it sounds like the biggest problem would actually be land and resources, and someone to go in and actually invest to build something like that to draw the tourism in. So there'd be a huge amount of upfront capital that would be needed in order to invest there, and then there would have to be quite a bit of marketing that would have to happen in order to draw the tourist industry there. Yeah. But it would provide jobs. It would provide increased revenue for the island, and anytime you can up-level people's income and provide them with better work and more opportunity for income, then that's going to up-level their quality of life.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought about that a lot as I was doing my website. But I mean, the only problem that I see with it is that from their projection of the rising sea levels and how that's going, that their island the main island is projected to be gone in the next 30 to 50 years.
Yeah.
And so to be able to get all of that together, build it, and then just have it be wiped away would be, pretty bad. Pretty useless, I would think. But
poor use of resources.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that if they were able to find a new place, a new island, or buy an island from a different country like Fiji or something, I think that would be a good thing to start there, where there's not those that caution that they have to have where the sea is going to come and overtake them.
Right.
So, well, I think that would be a pretty good thing. Just bad timing right now.
Well, and that's another idea. Maybe the capital investment is actually purchasing another island that's close by and making it part of their nation and using that as the launch pad for some sort of resort or tourist attraction where people could be employed.
Yeah, for sure. And that was one of your questions, Mom. Is the fourth one where it says, is the nation actively looking for a place for people to move? What made you ask that question, do you think?
Oh, just with their island being gone, are they looking? Are they?
Sounds like it's inevitable.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
do the people realize that, I mean, do the people have as much knowledge as, the government does?
Yeah. I think they do, but I think they're not willing to go.
Accept it?
Yeah. Not willing to accept it, or just not willing to go. I think they're kind of prideful about their island, you know? I mean, they've been there for who knows how many years, and now they just have to get up and leave, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd be a pretty hard thing to do. And, but that's one of the things that the president of the country has talked about. He calls it migration with dignity. So basically, like, we're going to have to move. We might as well start now instead of having to evacuate 100,000 people in like 4 months or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like when when you got a natural disaster that hits, people, they don't want to leave their homes, but then it's inevitable. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I think you look at the people in the Philippines, I mean, you have to get out. I mean, there's, other than the disaster, the aftermath is even worse because there's gases and homes and like all kinds of diseases roaming around there. And I think that's what will eventually happen to Kiribati if they don't start kicking it in gear.
So is the government, so another question on that line is the government making them? I mean, at this point, are they pushing them out right now? Are they trying to, get them out a lot sooner?
I was actually just reading an article about that today, and the president, he is like really urging people to go. They're not requiring them to leave yet, but they're really urging them to go, and they've raised the standards of their education and things like that so that they can be more acceptable for like a refugee visa kind of thing, like in, say for instance in Australia or New Zealand, another surrounding area that they can go to get out of there. And that's something they've been implementing in the past little bit, and he's really put a big urge to have people migrate with dignity now that the time is coming for them to actually have to go. And I found today that early last year, I think it was like January 2012 or something, that they actually bought a 2,200 hectare. What's the difference between acre and a hectare?
Let's see. Hectare. I'm not sure. Is that 1,000 acres? I can't remember.
It could be, but I don't know. But they bought a big plot of land on the second biggest island of